It's like grapefruit.
It's
What is it?
it is
It's the worst thing ever.
Malort.
Hey, can you grab me a Coke Zero or something?
Jepson's
From
Malort
your
has
stairs?
the aroma and full-bodied flavor of an unusual botanical. Its bitter taste is savored by two-fisted drinkers. I'm pretty sure it's a wormwood liquor. I don't know. It's considered the worst liquor on the planet.
Yeah. Fuck me, that's bad.
So if you fuck up in the deer woods in the deer shop this year, like you miss a deer or you wound
gotta
a
take a
deer,
slug?
You gotta take a slug of the Malort. All right, guys. Welcome to the Deer Shop Podcast, presented by Siman Brothers Outdoors and the Leaky John Boat Company.
He went and watched a movie that has a $200 million production budget, and then the next thing he watched was our video on YouTube that has a $0 production budget.
This is the first buck I've shot in over 10 years.
Your track job was the first fun track job. That kind of like, I think part of my life was influenced by that night.
Then you miss him 3 times with a rifle at 70 yards on video for the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's what killed it. 5 years ago, we couldn't shoot a deer at 100 yards with a slug gun. Now you're shooting turkeys at 100 yards with a shotgun.
Joey takes the shop is closing up.
Make sure he takes all his right antlers. You can't leave anything.
It tastes like a grapefruit.
The first slug ain't bad, but then it gets real bad.
It's like grapefruit design.
It's almost like if they took like the worst liquor ever and then like poured tonic water in it. Tastes like tonic. You ever have gin and tonics?
Yeah.
No.
You never have gin and tonics?
No.
I fucking love gin and tonic.
Ethan, you said you just bought gin.
Yeah, for gin and
Tonic.
ginger ale.
Gin and gin.
Gin and gin.
Gin and tonics are delicious.
Dude, so much better. Tiny little snort.
That's what the
That's my homemade stuff from 5 years ago.
That's what the
Yeah.
Way
It
better.
tastes like
Yeah.
cherries, whatever.
I put
whatever they're called.
I put something in there. But yeah,
Sunday cherries.
that's way better.
Cherries that go on a Sunday.
That stuff's not bad for being 5 years old.
Holy shit, that other stuff is bad.
you got a reaction.
Let me check the levels real quick. Level.
Isaac, make sure I don't
level. Now you look good.
I'm gonna do that. We're doing it.
We're putting it down there.
We're doing it. Oh,
Something's gonna get knocked. Oh my god.
And then we're gonna blame Jay's buddies. Or Dylan send
it's working.
Who is the guy?
I don't know.
It's probably one guy, or it's Jay's mom, or something.
Or it's Jay.
Or it's Jay.
He's just saying it's somebody else, but it's actually just Jay.
Deer Shop Podcast, episode 151. 151. Myself, Isaac, Ethan. Deer Shop. We haven't been in the Deer Shop in a couple weeks for a podcast, so
Deer Shop in the shop.
it's a Deer Shop Podcast in the shop. We're back in the shop.
Because you guys did fair.
We
Kentucky.
did driving and then fair. And then now we're in the shop.
Look at the G2 on that buck over there.
Gorse.
Yeah, so sitting in the shop now, we have leftover remnants from the fair. I'll go around the room. You can't see it. You saw in the intro. I will put video of
People
it.
will
I
complain.
promise. I will promise you the intro video is the shop real quick right now. So I'll show you, and I'll go around the room. Tyler's buck from last year, just awesome story. Awesome buck, super wide. Got both his sheds. That's on the wall by the TV. And then Isaac's buck from 2023, the 5x3, which was a really old buck that had real shitty antlers. One of his sheds is up there.
2022.
2022.
He shot it in 2023.
Yeah,
but
I
it was 2022 season.
Something.
Gore's big giant 8-point. We're going to talk about that later. Gore's 8-point and Tyler's buck. We're going to talk about that later in the podcast today. Gore's 147-inch 8-points over there. Thing's crazy. It's shoved in the corner facing the wrong way, but I don't have anywhere else to put it right now. We're taking it down to the Gore camp. Or the Gore farm, I should say. Then Massey, my 2020 buck. Underneath that is Isaac's 2009 buck. Looks
First
like
buck.
hell.
First buck.
Looks cool, though. Looks
From
cool.
the right angle, it looks good.
Yeah. My first buck's up behind
Why
Ethan
is
right
that
there. Or my second buck.
What?
Do you put that in here?
My first
Has
mount.
it been in here?
Yeah, it's been in here.
Next to that is 7-card pedestal mount, and then my Kentucky Velvet, which everyone at the fair requested to see, and it was here at the shop and not at the fair. I should have just hung that up at the fair. I don't.
You
It
didn't
would
take
have.
it to
It
the-
would have
I
got.
took it to the fair and then I brought it back. I didn't end up hanging it up.
Little kids would have torn the velvet off.
Yeah, and we just ran out of room in our booth, and then I don't know, but
It's so pretty.
isn't that a good looking mount? Mm-hmm. That one came out.
I like the face veins.
Yep, that one came out real good. Super thin coat and just clean. It looks clean.
It's the only buck, because of when you shot it, that has summer coat still, so you can actually like see the
Well,
summer coat.
that one, my 7-card kind of does, but he has a lot of summer coat.
Yeah, you can see the other color of
Yep.
fur.
Yep.
But also the geographic difference
Yep.
between the summer coats too.
Yeah, Madison did really good with that one.
Yeah, good job.
And then Hook's on the wall where he's always been for the last however many years. Isaac's buck from 2 years ago. Euro.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean, you killed him. He died 50 yards from where you stopped looking. Why didn't we just keep looking? We suck. You're in a bad mood. Then my West Virginia 10, the legendary West Virginia 10-point on the ridge. We got to have a measure off with Big Chris on his big 9 with that buck. See which one was actually the biggest.
Beautiful
ever
West
killed.
Virginia buck.
1 million sheds behind me, and then my first mounted buck's on the wall behind Ethan. 9-pointer from 2014, the year 2013. I was in medic school, I think, right?
Is that the garden buck?
Yep.
Garden buck.
Garden buck. That's the last deer I killed over corn, 2013 or 14. 14.
Isaac's velvet mule deer.
Then a velvet Utah high country mule deer.
Yep. That's the lineup.
Cool.
That's the lineup. Today we're talking deer season and deer hunting and filming setups and a little bit of YouTube stuff because deer season's here, guys. Like, it doesn't feel like it, but fair's over, and we're gonna be, when you're listening to this podcast, we'll be hunting in Kentucky 19 days later.
See,
It's that quick.
the YouTube algorithm, I don't have a lot of whitetail stuff in mine because I watch mostly elk hunting, but it has been blowing up with new videos every hour. People posting their elk hunting shit.
And,
I don't know if
and
whitetail's the
whitetail
same.
stuff. Whitetail stuff starting. I'll get to some of that at the end of this podcast. I have a little section we talk about channels, what I've seen recently. Some podcast stuff.
THP's elk hunt, Ted's elk hunt, not Aaron's, not the 16-day limited entry bullshit fest they had. Ted's elk hunt is up, and it is cool. It is probably the most realistic elk hunt video I've seen. Lots of hiking, lots of seeing nothing.
Like ever?
Finally tracking them down.
So I was going to get to that.
Cool. It's a cool video.
We might as well we'll just skip forward to that part right now. Let me scroll down.
It's actually 2 videos.
Yeah, I saw that there's 2 videos. So the THP elk stuff with Aaron, the warp stuff. You
was
said
rough.
you said you hated it, but isn't that good for them to have a struggle season a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
they had so much success that every once in a while, not that you'd wish non-success on people, but when they kill 3 or 4 big bulls every year, it's like, pff, okay.
Yeah, so this
You
hunt,
know, so to have realism.
it was a limited entry type hunt. Like, you're using a side-by-side. There's other people on side-by-sides. You're hunting like where Pavlik was hunting last year. Kind of like New Mexico, Arizona. I don't know exactly the state, but low country, desert, mountains, if that makes any sense.
And I saw the videos, like, they just walk in on these elk and then be all ready, and then 10 minutes before light, a ranger will pull up.
Yeah.
And,
It's a hunt that I've never done. Probably will never do that style of hunt. I don't want to do that.
well, I was explaining it to someone at the fair, like, logistically, for us to hunt that way and have success, you either have to rent a side-by-side or rent horses or tow your side-by-side there.
All the way out there.
It already costs between $3,000 and $4,000 roughly, maybe even more this year for fuel. To tow a side-by-side, you're looking at literally $6,000 or $7,000 in fuel alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let that sink in for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're talking 6,000 plus in fuel because you're already at 4,000 plus without pulling a trailer. You'll cut your fuel mileage in half. It might even double it.
And not to mention the logistics out there. Like, you have to know exactly what trailhead to go to, exactly where you can get trailers, where you can camp, where your side. Like, being from out of state and not knowing
Right.
people there, it's just not feasible.
And there's people that are going to listen to this who are a little bit closer and be like, well, it's not that big of a deal. But you have to understand, we're driving 30 hours straight, pulling a trailer, and then the last part is up through the mountains and stuff. I mean, it really does kill the fuel miles. We don't have diesels. We're not at the point where Dylan has a diesel. So if Dylan would pull it out there, it would help cut the fuel down a little bit. But with our, with our 1500s,
The style of hunting that I'm doing is backcountry solo, hiking in that style. It doesn't really work for the style of elk hunt they were on.
how excited are you for it?
Pretty pumped.
Like all-time level of hunting excitement. Where does this year stack up?
Pretty much the top.
That's
I know.
That's a big deal.
I know. As soon as I get out there, it's gonna be like a lot of pound me back into reality.
Yeah.
You've been out there. You know how it is.
I miss it more and more. Like Jay always says, it's the fun, it's not fun at the moment, but the fun you realize later. Like after spending all day with Jay last week at the fair and then doing the podcast with Jay, I came home and watched our Western hunting videos till fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was watching our bear hunt together, the second one. And it was just so awesome. The success was at the bottom barrel bad, but the hunt itself was so awesome. And I will do it again. And I can't wait to go out there for just 14 days again and just travel Montana and just hunt wherever we please.
Yeah.
That's what you're about to do.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna really mention the state because people get mad, but I'm sure in my video,
Your video is called Montana Muleys.
Yeah, at some point people will understand. And I'm kind of hunting. I mean, I have a general tag for mule deer and elk. So I'm hunting the whole state. I'm not really going to show exactly where I'm going, but people, if they watch it enough and they know the area, they're going to see where I'm at.
And I love how people say, I know exactly where that's at. You're burning spots. No, you know exactly where it's at because you've been there. But some Tom, Dick, and Harry, the other 30,000 people that watch it at home don't. So
Yeah,
if you don't say anything, then no one will know where that's at.
And congratulations, I burned a spot that has no animals and a lot of pressure.
I have your location, and I still don't know where you go.
Yeah.
I have the Onyx maps, and I still can't quite figure it out. But also, Jay, if you're not watching, because you probably just listened, but if you are watching, we did what you asked. There is no podcast board on the table.
There's a lot of other shit.
Yeah, that on purpose.
We're gonna talk about.
We're going to talk about this stuff in a little bit, but
the podcast.
we were
board's
asked
down
to maybe clean up. If we want to take this to the next level, we were a suggestion we had from this last week. And Jay's one who passed it along. I don't know who suggested it to him. Like Ethan said, it was probably just Jay, but he said clean up the table with non-podcast or with the podcast stuff, so you can just see the stuff you guys are talking about or whatever. But so we cleaned up. I don't know. Tell us what you think.
Yeah,
Really not
here we
big
are.
of a deal.
I wonder if that botanist is going to know where you are again.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think
wasn't it a chick?
That
The
was when I
purple
was
raised flower.
That was when I was in
Chick?
Utah, and so bizarre.
The evergreen grass is only native to this
I
side
know
of the
exactly
mountain.
where you are. Well, I don't care if you know where I'm at.
Stop watching something that's going to make you mad. Let's just stick with the YouTube world while we're here, I guess. I heard on the Hunter podcast I was listening to this morning that Drury Outdoors sold, and I don't know when that happened, but I guess it sold. And they didn't mention to who or what, so I'm assuming they sold it to their kids or something, and I guess Drury's going to stick with it for a little bit, but it's interesting.
Hopefully, it didn't sell to some big conglomerate, but maybe it did.
Maybe it did.
Sold to Mossy.
Maybe they'll make it a little bit smaller so we can enjoy it again because I don't know, man. As these outfits get bigger and broader and vaster, I find myself just enjoying them less and less. Midwest Whitetail with Bill was the best. Now I only tune in for Mike Reed.
And the kids
Drury Outdoors, we only watch if Terry or Mark kill a buck. None of the other stuff. I'm sorry, Taylor and Matt. I just really don't care about you guys.
The kids nowadays aren't even going to know what the heyday of those
Right.
videos were.
I don't even know what
THP's
they are.
original hunts where they were just going out and camping on public land and shooting bucks were the best.
Now they're all married, kids.
Yeah, they barely even. I'm curious what the deer tour for THP is going to look like this year, because they are one of the OGs, one of the greats. Probably more influence on hunting, filming, and public land than any sole individual ever. I know there's some old timers that may argue that, but I think in just today's society, what THP has done is, the most influential thing for public land mobile.
I'm kind of
hunting.
more excited to see what they're going to do.
But last couple of years, and I know there's hunts that I definitely missed because I did not
There's
watch it.
60
religiously.
episodes.
But we've talked, and I know Ted recently had. I think it was in Iowa, maybe Missouri. They're not going to spot burn. I'm not going to know. Ted had that hunt where he killed a giant, and then another giant came in, and it was fucking awesome. Little Ted. But most of their stuff, when I tune it in and they're walking through tall grass with the cameraman, I tune it off. Like I don't. The spot and stalk open land hunting to me is just not as exciting. And I know that's an unpopular take because like Lee Ellis is publicly on buck, and a lot of THP stuff gets a ton of views and people love it. But I hate watching people crawl through the grass and fling arrows at deer. It's not relevant to the way I hunt, so it's just uninteresting to me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
Michael Waddell, I saw last summer, teamed up or partnered with True Timber, so he's officially not with Realtree anymore. That must have just ran its course.
True Timber is a camo company.
They said it's the most used camo in the world, but I just don't believe that.
True Timber?
Yeah,
Used it
I've
in
never
Russia
even
or
heard of it.
Spain or somewhere?
I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
That was their marketing. I didn't
Unless they sell it at Walmart or something,
maybe
which is a possibility.
But Realtree's at Walmart. You can buy the Realtree stuff at Walmart, like the pink camo Realtree hoodies and shit that hookers wear.
Yeah.
So that I found that kind of interesting. Michael Waddell, Realtree Road Trips is like just what you think of.
True Timber early season ad is a dude with a crossbow walking through the grass.
Boo.
I don't want to open that can of worms today. I don't care. I don't feel like arguing with people on this comment. So speaking of stuff like that, how about Bomar killing his cameraman?
Well,
I didn't even watch the video. Did you?
yeah, I watched the video. So he's on a aoudad hunt in South Texas, I would assume.
No, he said he was at 9,000 feet.
Yeah, South Texas.
There ain't no 10. You can't get 9,000
Look it
feet. Look it up, Ethan.
Maybe not South Texas.
Jesus
but
Christ, there ain't no 9,000 foot mountains in South Texas.
Texas, yes. And
I think he was in France.
no, he's in Texas hunting aoudads, I promise. Anyways,
He made this video in Texas.
yeah,
That makes it completely.
there is mountains.
That makes it entirely less interesting.
There's
8,700 feet.
Like, so where did he jump 300 feet above the tallest peak?
Probably where he's hunting. Anyways, hunting, he has this little cameraman, and I don't
He looked
know
like
to
a
say it.
Spanish little.
He's a
dude.
little Hispanic guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a local, probably works for the outfitter that he's hunting with. But he claimed that the younger guy, passed out when they're hiking up this mountain and then rolled down the mountain 60 feet, got caught by a tree, and that's the only thing that kept her from going down and dying. And he videotapes him walking up to him and it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Kid doesn't look like he went down a mountain.
So
I'm not saying it's fake. It just doesn't really look convincing. And I mean, we're paramedics. People just pass out when they're walking too much. No, they'll get tired. They'll sit down. Maybe.
yeah, I mean, if Josh Bomar's saying, "Get the fuck up this hill," God
Yeah, I
damn
don't
it,
So it almost looks like it could be a fabricated story about how good
I
a
was-
shape the Bomars are in and the cameraman's not. So they ran him to exhaustion, but now they're helping him. And
I was gonna bring that up. Bomar purposely sensationalizes what he does, right? I thought he wasn't able to bow hunt anymore. I thought his shoulder was wrecked.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if he. Yeah.
But there's a million examples: burning his truck up and
They call that clickbait.
and walking into the ER without a shirt on.
You don't have.
Yeah.
You're not wearing a shirt. Why?
You hurt your finger. Why's your shirt off?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just stupid.
And
And it makes me Bomar. Everyone liked him. Even if you hate Bomar now, like we do, hate's a strong word. If you just like watching the Bomar stuff like we do, even though you just watched it,
I respect his brand for sure.
that's what I'm saying. He had at his humble beginnings from Ohio, finding his wife at the Arnold Classic, blah 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 blah. That was cool and a good underdog story. But what he has turned into,
the little.
is just stupid.
It's ultimate.
She's
it's ultimate
completely
cringe.
plastic.
Ultimate cringe in the hunting.
She's bald and wears a wig all day because from taking testosterone as a woman.
Yeah,
And she
I
has an
don't know
entire group of people on the internet that hate her just for existing, which is sad. But
which she barks back at all day, which is weird.
it's just
In a very
it's
masculine
very
way.
strange. It's just very strange. It doesn't feel.
Yeah,
authentic.
we're not here to talk about that because his shit pops up because he's so popular. So I had to watch it, and I'm like, what? What is this? Anyways,
I watched the last couple whitetail research videos. That dude's awesome.
that dude's something.
That dude is so awesome.
His broadhead one was. It was probably the most in-depth video I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he said a lot of words I don't understand.
Yeah.
But
The
we all
way he
shoot to
makes his
prepare ourselves.
videos are perfect. We gotta get him on. I sent him another message.
That video, along with the study that Bornigan was talking about, I don't know if you listened to that podcast. The broadhead study. It's a huge study.
No, because I don't listen to
That one where they
nerd
didn't
shit.
do, they promoted rage a lot. That one.
No. No, it's a
The vein. You're talking about the vein one.
yes.
Yeah.
It's a big broadhead arrow study, and it's very interesting if you go look at it. But the data didn't make full sense to me. Like they did broadhead groups, like they're shooting a bow. It's a hooter shooter or something of that nature. So it's supposed to shoot the arrow the same place every single time. They strap a bunch of different broadheads, different arrow combinations, veins, and everything. But they were getting wild group sizes with fixed blade broadheads, like 6, 8, 12 inches at 70 yards. Mm-hmm. And even like expandable broadheads were getting bigger groups depending on the one. And like, it just didn't seem, I don't know. The data seemed suspect because they're shooting 3-inch groups at 70 yards, but like Levi Morgan can shoot a 2-inch group at 70 yards. So like, how's this machine shooting bigger groups than people are?
Yeah,
Like
because I think
the G5 Montec had a 12-inch group at 70 yards, but there's plenty of people that use those and have used those for 20 years to kill elk at 70, 80, 90 yards, and they're not shooting a 12-inch group.
that brings up a point, though. How much of your group is human error? You're missing, but it's helping you.
Yeah,
If a machine, and who knows if the machine's perfect, right? But if the machine is perfect,
theoretically,
then
the
it can
machine should be
then it can
perfect.
only you can only be as good as that because your form will never be.
That's
perfect.
what I'm saying. And when they have
So
a
so
3-inch,
so you're missing, but the miss is closer to your other shot. You know what I'm saying?
and I'm saying when they have a 3-inch group at 70 yards with field points, and that's as good as they can shoot, it doesn't make sense because I've shot 3-inch groups at 70 yards before. Not every time, but I have done maybe even smaller. Like, so how am I shooting better than this person?
Because you are not, no matter what you say you're doing, you're not going to be able to replicate the same form and the same hold on every shot. So you're getting close enough to where you want to hit every time, which is
That's
even
what I'm
the
saying.
arrows.
Why is
closer
the human shooting better groups than the machine?
because you're moving. So like if your first shot is right,
The machine's not moving.
correct.
So it
But if
should-
your first shot is right here, and then you're trying to hold, the machine holds here again, and it's the best group it can possibly have is just all around this. You're trying to aim for this. Listen, you're trying to aim for this, but you're not hitting. You're actually releasing here, but the arrow, because of factors, wind and where you're holding in your form, misses where you're aiming.
Yeah, but the law-
closer to where your other arrow
the law
is.
of averages says that that would then make the group bigger, not smaller. Unless you're just getting that lucky that your mistake.
But because you're only trying to shoot at one spot, and you're going to gravitate. I find myself doing this. You're gravitating towards where your arrow
Yeah,
hit.
but you're not making any sense.
Yes, I am.
It's
The study's
the
precision
machine
cut
is
archery.
perfect every time.
Yeah.
So that's as small as a group can technically get with that bow. But the groups did not seem to be small enough. That's
Well, for one, your bow might be better than hooter shooter or whatever it is that you said the machine.
yeah, they're shooting. It was
The
like,
bow
it was like a
itself-
brand new Hoyt or something.
Yeah, the bow itself that you have set up with your stuff could be more accurate.
Regardless, lots of studies. People are talking about things. Everyone says expandable broadheads are better at
They are.
for every reason.
They are.
Anyways,
The only reason people ever used, I mean, if we're being honest, right? Let's just be honest, because this is interesting stuff that the audience wants to listen to, anyways. The only reason people use fixed blade broadheads is because they want to shoot through brush and shoot through bones.
Mm-hmm.
It's not more accurate of a head, so you can't say I'm shooting it because it's more accurate. That's false. That's factually false.
it-
You're shooting something bigger through the air. It has more drag.
It's just physics. It's
Right.
physically false that the fixed blade is going to be more accurate.
Correct. So you're not shooting it because of that. You're shooting it because you want blades to never have to deploy and be open when they hit something, including elk hunting, 60-yard shot through the timber, like brush, whitetail hunting, brush.
But you are limited.
And you want to blow that shoulder away because you're afraid you've had a bad experience with a shoulder, or you've had a bad experience where you think a broadhead didn't open up. So you're like, well, when my arrow hits the deer, it's going to be open and I will be able to break that shoulder, which is also not true. We've proved that.
Well, yeah, it depends. We've killed some deer shoulder shot with expandables.
Correct. But just because you're shooting a fixed blade doesn't mean it's automatically just
No,
blow through a
no,
shoulder is what I'm
no.
saying. So like you're actually not getting any advantage to blow through said shoulder, and you're not getting any advantage with accuracy. So yes, your broadhead will open up every single time and guarantee to cut. That's a fact. But
That study is precision cut archery is who did it. So if you guys are interested in that.
Yeah, I read the whole thing.
Yeah.
here's an interesting conversation.
Born Again did a podcast on the study
With Cromer.
with Chrome.
Yeah, I don't listen to those ones. Just because I hate both stuff.
It was very interesting.
Let's keep in line with that. Let's just keep going with this. The conversation me and you had the other day with Matt in our little group chat, me and you, Ethan. Matt said that, and I guess I'm calling him out, but Matt said that if you are a good archer, Levi Morgan, Hunter Hogan, Matt boarding him at himself, and you have good form, and you can have
proven good archers.
yeah,
They
you
shoot
can have good
competition.
groups at 70 yards. That it's perfectly ethical to take those shots on whitetails.
I don't agree.
Where you could be the greatest shot in the world and guaranteed to get that 3-inch group at 70 yards because you're Levi Morgan. I just think in hunting conditions, wind, rain, weather, from a tree stand, from a ground blind, stuff in between, and the reaction time to the sound, sights, and whatever of the deer, I think even if you're the best archer in the world, that those shots are still not. I don't think it gives you an okay to take that shot just because you're a better shot, because you can't predict where the deer is going to be after the arrow travels 70 yards. Now, a good point was made that the deer don't react to shots that far because it doesn't sound as loud to them. Like the sound of the shot is more muffled after 50-ish yards, so they actually do not move as much and flinch.
But they can
would.
take a step.
Correct.
And the reason we got on that,
experienced that animals taking.
we were
a
talking
step.
about Hunter Hogan, who does produce some good videos and is a good shot. We were talking about him.
He consistently takes like 70, 80 yard mule deer style shots, which mule deer don't duck and elk don't duck
Which
as much.
is that
on whitetail?
100% true? Yeah, I didn't think so.
But they're less of a chance, right? Like
they're less of a chance of them jumping the string at like 20 yards, like whitetails do.
yeah, because I've had deer like, and that's kind of the point I was making. I've had deer on video with evidence dropping, 6 to 8 to 10 inches on a 20-yard shot before, like especially late season on alert kind of deer. I mean, those deer will drop that far.
And then some deer that don't drop at all.
Correct.
Like this deer that's hanging up here that I shot through the front legs. He didn't drop at all.
Which is crazy because you stopped him while he was seeking, I think, and I just think he was going to stand there and wait for whatever happened to happen. Mm-hmm. It's a good mental note for next time. If you stop a buck that's seeking hard, just aim perfect and true.
Yeah.
But
That was a combination. That I wasn't aiming low. It was a combination of yardage and whatever.
point being, I guess where I was going with this is like, if you are a tournament style archer, does that make the 70-yard shot, like, do you add that to your repertoire, or is that still just asinine for a whitetail in hunting conditions?
I think it's pretty asinine.
You don't see a lot of people shooting 70 yards like from a tree stand at a whitetail.
Because that
Very often.
Because that changes a lot of things too. You're when you start to add elevation to shooting either up or down, that changes a lot. So there's nothing like tournament shooting. Mm-hmm. There's factors,
Obviously,
gravity and rain and wind.
the tree moving.
The tournament shooters and they're very good archers are going to have a much better chance of hitting the animal, but there's still always going to be those factors that you can't control.
I didn't think Hunter Hogan got a pass just because he was friends with Levi Morgan and shoots tournaments. That's shooting 80-yard shots at deer.
Yeah. But he is a better shot than us. So maybe you have a 40-yard range and maybe he has a 50, 60, 70.
I can only see 37 yards.
Yeah, your range is not very far.
I don't like shooting that far at all anyways. I mean, I think every bow hunter likes to keep it closer than that. But
Close.
I guess we can end the YouTube conversation. Mm-hmm. Except for Grit. When is Grit coming back? I checked it. It was September 17th last year, so I guess we have like a month.
Yeah. It's all last year's stuff. Should be. They do that
That's why you'd think it'd be.
the year later.
That's why you'd think it'd be a little bit sooner.
Yeah, but they release it in the middle of their seasons. They hunt Nebraska early season, so like that's
Yeah.
first weekend, second weekend of September, so that's right in line with when they're hunting.
Let's talk about that for a second. Whitetail hunters in general that watch YouTube television, whatever, when are they hunting the most? Probably October, November.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a lot of people from Wisconsin, Minnesota,
Ohio.
like
Pennsylvania, West Virginia.
we just have that bug because we're going to be hunting in the first week of September. A lot of people aren't even thinking about deer hunting yet.
Yeah.
The quiet majority. We're not the
Well, our
quiet
best
or the
metrics are
majority.
always December, so
Yeah.
but it seems like all the professionals really start releasing their stuff in like August and early September.
It's when they're hunting.
No, it's not though.
Before
It's before they're hunting. So like turkey content blows up in March, and like by the time April rolls around and we're hunting, late April, it's done.
Yeah,
Like
but all those turkey videos are in the South, which March is their opening season, so they're hunting.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, and they kind
But even the northern guys, like the Breaking Point guys, are hunting Wisconsin. They're releasing their stuff in March.
yeah, and they kind of go from
Like the elk stuff's out right now, like you said. And you're not hunting for another month.
Well, how many?
these professionals go from trade show season to releasing videos to hunting to like that's why there's not a whole lot of stuff in the summer because they're all doing trade shows.
How many YouTube outfits
Well, I don't want it.
release films as they make them?
Not very many.
Not very
THP.
Like they're
And they hold. So THP used to be pretty much semi-live, right? and they still are, but they will hold a lot of stuff till the next year. All their Western stuff they hold, half their turkey hunting content they hold, and they have started to hold a lot of deer hunting content. They never did release their muzzleloader hunt from last year.
The second part.
Yeah. And they released the first part, and then life got in the way apparently, and they didn't get the second part out, which is kind of wild.
Their interns, editors, whoever's, or just their posting schedule, however that works.
Yeah, just
we know how hard it is for us to imagine PHP.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that today, actually, a little bit. But, so, all the way back to the beginning, we kind of got sidetracked, but that's okay. 19 days Kentucky, 21 days after that Ohio.
Wow.
So we are at 40 days for Ohio. We hunt deer in 40 days from when this is airing
here.
In Ohio.
Pretty crazy.
19 days for Kentucky. 19
days after this podcast airs, we're hunting Kentucky. Me and Ethan went down there. You guys all saw that, heard that. That video will be up on Deer Camp Chronicles Season 4, Episode 1, which is being edited here soon. So far, since we've been down there, though, the only buck that's showed back up is that big 7. And he's there every day, killable. It's all over the place.
Which he's a nice deer.
Yeah, I'm probably shooting him.
Yeah,
last year, I would have said no, I'm not shooting him.
He's got a lot
buck.
bigger frame than that buck.
Correct. And if he's in full velvet, he's technically a 5 with 2 small kickers. So he's a mainframe 5-point. Well, yeah.
I think he's an 8.
No, he's a mainframe 6 with
so
two
he's
little
got
crab claws.
3 high and 2 high with brow tines and then little tiny crab claws. Yeah, he's an interesting looking.
He's just an 8 with a small G4 on the one side.
He's a deer that if you're hunting out of state, looking for a velvet buck, doing this travel hunting, and you have an opportunity like guys like us are super excited about. But if you lived in Iowa or Missouri, Ohio, and you had one tag in your pocket for the rest of the year, you would never even look twice at him. He falls just into that category of like, eh.
And he looks big and mature body-wise.
Yeah. Part of me thinks he's your 8-point from last year still. He just went downhill.
I don't think so.
He's got the same kind of G2, G3 like structure. He just lost a lot of shit. He's just not as big.
Which is possible.
Hopefully the 8-point shows up because we didn't get cameras down there until like August 30th last year.
Remember 2 years ago when you had all your chickens counted before they hatched?
Oh, we had.
And then you guys went down there and didn't see shit.
No, I had a 140 class buck out of velvet at 28 yards behind the blind, but we were hunting from blinds, and he just stared at this blind like, what the fuck is that? And then ran off. Yeah. But me and Luke had him coming in, and he was going to cross the ditch and cross in front of me perfectly to my left side with Luke filming off my right side at 22 yards. And he saw the blind and was like, that's fucked up. We were that close to glory.
But that was the year you guys
that was the second.
Lots of summer deer.
Because beans
were planted. And then we didn't, and I don't know why we were gay, but like we just stuck to the blinds that year.
I hunted out of.
I don't know why I didn't tree stand hunt at all and like make a move.
Because we didn't go down before, and it's impossible to hunt that farm without any prep.
We talked about it on the podcast. The field has like a 20-yard buffer from the edge of the field to like where the tree trunks start. And there's a 20-yard buffer, and it's slightly down, and then the trees are as big around as that refrigerator over there. I mean, you cannot reach around the trees. They're just huge old oaks and pines.
It's what you get from 20 years of like an unmaintained farm. Like so around here, the farmers have to keep working on the tree lines around the fields just to keep the field close to the trees without brush and small trees.
And that's why we put ladder stands up, because we can actually get closer to the fields and have access to hunting the fields with the ladder stands. You'll never be able to get up in them in a mobile setup. You can't reach around the tree.
Yeah, you were 20 yards off the field edge last year? There's one tree I can hunt out with my saddle.
Correct.
And it's not a good spot.
And if you hunt inside the timber, which we know there's obviously going to be plenty of deer through there, but you can't see the fields and the movement, so you're just in dark timber all night.
And then it all falls off towards the river, so your thermals are going to pull towards the deer, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, which early season is rough hunting big woods.
But we had, prior to us going down there and baiting, putting out the feed and all the cameras on that, we had, I would say, 5 other deer that we would shoot.
Yeah.
Including the one big 10. There was a nice 9. There was a good 8.
The one bachelor group and then the big 10.
There was a 10, 9, and an 8.
On the mineral?
Yeah, on the mineral. That were like top of the list for sure. The 10 was beautiful. And the 9 and the 8 were 130 class bucks. Yeah. So like really good bucks.
And they could move back through and hang out.
Yeah, they could be out there right now. I mean, we're only watching 2 of the 6 fields in a small area of 2 of the 6 fields. Mm-hmm. So my legs are still absolutely fucked from chiggers down there. I mean, 1 million bites. So, like, I'm going to have to get the permethrin going on my early season clothes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, soon. Just put them all in the driveway and spray them all down. I had to buy like a gallon of that shit because I've been, you know, ticks have always been a little thing for me, but I have never been wrecked by chiggers like that. And it was just wild.
Terrible.
I didn't get a single bite on me anywhere.
This year, and speaking of like that stuff, so like I got to get all my clothes. Like my hunting stuff is like not even remotely ready. I have everything still just in boxes in my one room in my barn. I really need to like get on that and organize and start setting up my hunting room. But I haven't been able to.
See what you need to buy, see what you need to order, see what
arrows is on my list of things to order. I was talking about that today with the guys. Like,
people are gonna fight you.
I need Axis arrows, 340s, the 340 spine, Axis 5mm with the hidden inserts, and I can like not find them. They're either sold out or already come fletched or just not available, or they have those half out inserts.
Yeah, they switched to half out.
Does that even really make it? Like, can I just shoot those? Will it make a difference? Be a little bit heavier.
Depends on the weight. You can just get new arrows and re-sight in and be good to go.
Yeah, but like, why would I change what I know is perfect?
Yeah.
But anyways, my hunting room. The point being, my hunting room is not ready because I'm working on my office. My office is getting closer to being ready. At the same time as we're working on both living rooms and our kitchen and my baby room. Mm-hmm. But the office is getting closer to getting ready. Point being for that is we're going to get into the studio real heavy here soon because, like we talked about, it's hunting content season.
Yes.
And today's episode was going to be about cameras and our gear and our workflow.
If we ever get to talking about it.
Yeah, if we ever get there. I mean, archery's kind of getting me a little bit excited, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But my stuff ain't ready, but when it is ready, when it will be ready soon, there's gonna be an onslaught of camera footage from us. Like, we have 4 pre-season videos planned. One which is already partially filmed. I just need to edit it. The Gore. We did our story with Gore on his 147-inch 8-point. I got to get Tyler and Luke nailed down, and then Isaac's got to come film me one day, get mine nailed down. So I have my 4 stories before the season.
And we only have to do that over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I got
my baby's due in 6 weeks.
I got all of my hunting clothes organized, washed, clean, hung up, and then Melinda put a scent thing in the room with it, so I got to take it all down and
that's
wash it.
It doesn't
really matter, but like that's the nice part about my hunting room in my barn. I have a heated and air conditioned hunting room in my barn that I turn into my hunting room. I'm gonna be able to keep a wardrobe in there with all like my just leaves and sticks and shit, and like that room will just be smelling natural, which is going to be like perfect.
And I know scent control's not that huge of a deal, but I guess you don't want to smell like lavender sunshine going out there.
Yeah.
We're going to have a release on Sunday from here until Christmas, I think. That's the point. That's the plan. I'm going to have a family dream farm all the way up until these films getting made. So every Sunday up until I get Gore's film, which I think I told you I was trying to get that August 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Gore's film will be premiering on August 23rd, Sunday morning. Up until then, so there's only 2 more weeks until then. Or 1 more week. 2 more? 1 more? 2 more.
But it's August 12th.
1 more. So this upcoming weekend and the weekend after that, 2 more family dream farms. If you are into the habitat stuff, you know, we try not to preach too much tactics on this podcast, more entertainment. But if you're into the habitat stuff, which we do love to dabble in a lot, and we have been pretty heavily for the last 10-ish years, the family dream farms where that's all going to be. So we're going to be putting in our fall plots. I'm going to do some spraying today, maybe even some tilling later today to get the fall plots set up. Isaac's got to spray his at his house. We got to spray mine at my house still. We're going to do 3 fall plots, 1 at the farm, 1 at Isaac's, 1 at mine.
Which one should we get those in by the end of August?
As soon as you possibly can at this point. So if we can spray today, that'd be great. I don't know if it's supposed to rain at 6.
I mean, it's been so soggy and it's going to rain. We cannot
spray
today.
Well, you can spray as long as it dries for an hour. It's fine.
I don't know.
So I'm going to spray some of the food plots here at the farm today, check some, and just start chipping away because the fall food plots, I mean, it's time. The rain was much needed. Watering holes are full. The beans are starting to pop. Our beans are finally starting to look a little bit better. The alfalfa is going to need another cut here soon.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they cut it here. Then I think they're only doing 1 more cutting.
Yeah, me too.
Well, they might be doing
If they
2.
get one in quick, they might be able to do it in September, late September.
I think Nathan said they're only doing 2
total.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there'll be a couple weeks. They'll get another one in.
The deer love it.
The deer love it. Deer love it. But point being, every Sunday you're going to have a video from here on out. Family Dream Farms, followed by their Deer Stories films, 4 of them, and then boom, Deer Camp Chronicles Season 4, Episode 1 will be releasing. And I believe I'll have that being released. I had the schedule up the week before Ohio season opens, because then the opener for Ohio that weekend, I'm going to have the story of our Kentucky hunting.
Okay.
Hopefully some bucks being killed.
Yeah, for
Or
sure.
a doe.
I mean, there's going to be deer killed. But let's go through our camera setups. Let's nerd out a little bit with the camera gear stuff.
We have a resident nerd here to explain everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll go first because mine's easy. I'm still using the Panasonic HGX 2000 camcorder that I have since 2020. I film in 4K 30 for everything that I do on that camera. Manual when it starts getting low light. It does okay in the low light. It definitely leaves a lot to be desired. And then my secondary angle is going to be the GoPro Hero 10 Black, same as it's been for the last 5 years.
And
Besides the battery dying quickly, it's been pretty flawless. I did some updates on it a couple years ago, and it no longer freezes. And everything works as it should, and the video quality is still pretty good. The sound is amazing for a POV cam. So I can fix the bad battery situation in cold weather by using an external in my backpack, and that's what I'm going to do for this season, and that is just the way things are going to be. Mm-hmm. My hunting content will look exactly the same as it has since 2020.
And these camcorders are awesome. They just struggle in low light.
Yep. I've said it before, but probably next year I will finally upgrade my camcorder to a newer one. And I'm then looking at the Canons because they offer the same package with a handle and an XLR mic setup, which I love the XLR because sound is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And this size quality or this size camcorder, they offer with a full 1-inch sensor.
Yeah, which is a little bit bigger.
Bigger than the one I currently have, which would be huge for us.
You have a spider web in here.
Well, I carried it around the woods today. I was using it in the woods just in case I saw a buck while I was out scouting. Because this is the time of year where you'll jump a velvet at 20 yards and you can get some cool video. But my filming will be pretty much the same. If I film the fellas, I'll either be using this exact setup or potentially the shop cam, which is recording the podcast right now as we speak with some of these lens combinations that Isaac has. And Ethan and Isaac have that same camera, and they'll talk about it.
Which we have 3 Panasonic GH6s now. So it's a little bit of an older mirrorless camera with a smaller sensor. But good thing for us because they're cheaper nowadays. So we have probably all 3 of these cameras and 4 or 5 lenses for the cost of about one
Sony
sweet Sony setup that a lot of people use or have and don't use.
That's Isaac's big thing.
Yeah. So we're using Panasonic GH6s. The main lens we're using is the 12-60, which full frame would be a 24-120. So it's just pretty much on par with what most people are using nowadays.
Do you guys both have that same lens?
Yeah, mine's just sitting over there.
Same exact lens?
Yeah, so we have that same exact lens. So we can get these setups for like, I don't know, what'd you pay for yours? $1,000 with the camera and the lens, which is insane because like if you wanted to use a Sony S3, like or A7 S3, it's going to cost you $4 or $5 grand for a comparable lens and comparable camera.
And that lens can film deer perfect quality for what we do up to 100 yards.
Yeah,
no
roughly,
problem.
yeah.
You're going to have a hard time when the deer's 130, 140, 200 yards across the field. That's where my camcorder does a little bit of a better job.
Yeah,
but once the deer's inside 100,
we lose out on the ease of use because you can use a
one-handed
a handle with a camcorder. We can't use a handle with these. We have to manually zoom. And also your audio is a little bit better because you're using the XLR system. They make those for these cameras, but they're real clunky. Like I actually have one. I have a setup.
Have you looked at like, I know this is annoying to you, but have you looked at putting the cage on your camera and then using my big shotgun mic, the big XLR, what's the fancy brand? Sennheiser? Or what? No, mine's not Sennheiser.
It's a Rode.
It's a Rode. My fancy Rode.
So I can use that whole setup.
Because the sound would be incredible.
So big and clunky, and it's like fragile. Like it's just not. It's not like a nice handle.
But if you caged it, would you be able to get a nice cage?
That thing hooks right to this hot shoe, and it's like it's pretty chintzy. Like this system is not good.
Because that would make your sound so much better. Because that's the one, like your guys' film, yours and Ethan's film this year or this last year and the last couple of years, like using this setup the quality of the video is incredible. But sometimes in the heat of the moment, when your mic's not dialed properly, you turn down the gain or the battery dies or it gets unplugged. The audio levels are so much lower that I have to jack them up to get similar sound to everything else. And when that happens, it enhances every bump and like
they just don't sound. It doesn't sound as good as using the XLR microphones.
Yeah, it's just full. My sound is just full.
And you can get real technical, like there's preamps and there's all sorts of technical jargon.
I wish there was a better mic setup for your guys' cameras.
There's just not.
I know. Well, I know. If we could find a way to have like a hot shoe attachment that could then attach the rest of the situation to
which
the frame.
It does. So like I'll use this example, Gritty.
Yeah.
Big film guy. He uses Sony cameras. He has that little dongle that goes on top of here. It hooks the hot shoe, and then he can hook a mic like this. His mule deer film that he just posted, it got bumped. He had no audio after he shot this deer. Freaking out, filming everything, completely silent because his mic system got bumped off.
And even in the heat of the moment with the cameraman, it's tough. Self-filming, you're never going to notice that. Like when you're self-filming or trying to do something, like it's hard to notice situations like that. A cameraman will notice it a little bit better, but even then, sometimes you're just not. You're so focused on making sure the shot's in focus and the lighting's good, and that the guy that you're filming is in frame, that you forget to look at the sound portion of it. Ethan's mic's a little bit different.
It's just a little video mic. They sound okay. Sound better than the mics on the cameras.
Yeah.
But we are limited to this handle system is just so much better.
The nice part is if you guys are using like second angle cameras with a decent mic, they will capture the same audio, and I can overlace it, and it'll capture everything a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. But then you got to make sure your second angle's on and this and that.
Yeah, it's tough.
There is a new system. Sony came out with a new camera. It's the FX5. It's $5 grand for the camera, plus probably $1,000 for the handle. But it's a handle just like this. It hooks into this hot shoe, but then it has screws that actually screw down.
Yeah.
So if I were to have any camera with no cost budget problems, it'd probably be the Sony FX5.
I was looking at. It might have been even. What's the one that looks like? I mean, obviously any budget.
A little gray box.
Okay, so it looks like a red.
There's an FX.
It looks like the red cameras. You can put any lens on them.
Well, there's an FX3. Well, there's an FX2, 3. The 5 is a new one. There's an FX6, which is like a bigger box, and then an FX9, which is an even bigger box.
And they have nothing. Like you had to attach your own screen. You had to attach your own.
That's the FX.
Mic, and you had to attach your own lenses.
That's the FX6 and 9. Those are the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But an FX3 is about this size. The 2, 3, and 5 are about this size, but they have like screw holes on top, and they're a little nicer than these.
I mean,
they're full frame.
An FX6 with a nice like screen and a mic and a lens system would be.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But you're spending, and then we got this big ass camera too.
I still think, money's always going to be an issue for us because we don't make as much money doing this stuff as we should. But if money wasn't an issue, I would love to come up with some kind of design, a box camera like that with a nice cage. Just make it super light. The only thing that have any weight would be the battery. But I like the idea of like being able to kind of like the old school cameras that you just rotate lenses. So you have your telephoto for long range. You can zoom it you can click it over to your middle range lens, and then you can click it over to your POV lens, all attached to the same. It would be a little bit bulky, but like imagine with the filming you could do with that on the go.
The technology is getting better that they have all-in-one lenses. Like the lens that Matt has for his camera, it's a full frame lens, and it goes 28 to 200. So it's a huge range. Obviously, the light gathering capability is not so good at that 200, but it is like an all-in-one lens that when we're trying to do that, we have to use 2 separate lenses.
Yeah.
But
I still have Matt's memory cards on my computer from his turkey hunting film. I need to give those back to him so he can start his deer hunting content.
Yeah. So the perfect system pretty much exists. Like we could have better cameras, you just have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Hugely expensive.
And there's not a trade like losing a little bit of quality and ease of use to have these is worth it for us because we just don't have the budgets to have that kind of setup. We just don't.
Yes,
we can't each have $5,000.
And some of the most popular videos and storytell are done with GoPros and action cams and small little old cameras, and so the camera doesn't make the story; it just helps you tell it a little better.
The sound is more important. The sound and the editing are just as important, if not more, than the actual recording of the video.
Yeah, and the audio is very important because your system is so hard to get away from because it's so foolproof. Your camera's good, your audio's good, you're not messing with little external things, you're not messing with wireless mics, you're not messing with any of that shit. You turn it on, you're good to go, you know it's going to be solid. It's just like having the bow setup or backpack setup that you know is tried and true.
If only they had this, if they made a camcorder exactly like this with faster toggle menus. So like your guys can just click a button, click a dial, and go from filming 4K 120 to filming 5.7K 30 low light. Like you can do all that just a little click of a button.
Click is this. That's it.
I have to go into a digital menu and scroll around and find it. If they had the ability to switch between modes fast with this in this package and just like a giant sensor.
Yeah, full frame sensor.
Like a full frame sensor on this camera with the zooms capabilities that it has.
If you wanted a full frame sensor on this camera, this lens portion would have to be this big. Huge.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's just physics. This can get away with lots of zoom range with a small, like this is the only part that's a lens.
Yeah.
Compared to, this lens. Because the sensor is so small.
I would be okay with this, with the camera having this much more distance on it if I could get a full frame on it.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
This lens is built for micro four thirds. This comparable lens, this is a 1 to 400.
A full frame, I know it's like this big.
Yeah, so this is a 200 to 800 full frame equivalent. An 800 millimeter full frame lens is this big.
It's the ones you see sporting events and wildlife photographers, the big white Sony
that lens.
that
That lens Tim was using at the rough trucks, that big lens.
Yeah,
that was a 600 millimeter lens. So that's not even as much as this.
Yeah.
It's all physics, and that's how you can only make lenses so small to cover sensors.
But eventually, one day they'll have bigger sensors on these camcorders with all the features. I wish I was able to switch through modes a lot faster.
Then the problem with that is you have to have a camera arm that can carry that. And the problem with that is you need a bigger backpack that you'd like to carry that bigger camera arm to carry your bigger camera to the woods.
Yep.
Which is another thing.
I used to take those big giant 1-inch sensors.
Like this lens weighs more than this whole camera setup.
Sure does. With the battery even in it.
Yeah, battery, mic, everything.
But these camcorder, like this camcorder, if you're watching on the YouTube, this camcorder situation with a handle and the XLR is insanely bulletproof, and its ability to record high quality material on the fly so easily is just unmatched.
Yeah,
unmatched.
It's reliability and like
I've been carrying this thing around for 6 seasons. Look at it. It looks great.
How many times do you drop that out of a tree?
Once, at least once, fully completely
like 20 feet down.
Yeah, with Tyler, dropped it out of a tree. I've thrown it in my backpack without a case for 6 seasons. It's been rolling around in the 4-wheeler, side by side, cars. I've hunted 0 degrees. It's been on the beach at over 100 degrees, salt water.
That's another thing.
Left it in the rain.
You don't have the removable lens, so you don't have any way for dust, water, any of that shit to get in. You don't have a break point.
Nope.
Remember this camera we dropped off a tripod in your basement?
Yeah,
I broke the whole lens, broke the lens, everything off of it.
Yep.
Which I was able to fix myself. But
this thing is just So there's trade-offs, like great quality picture, bokeh. Being able to, when I say bokeh, it's able to have that picture where the subject is in frame, but the background is a little bit blurry. This high definition portrait mode for the iPhone people.
Yeah.
This camera struggles at doing that. It'll have
it's all physics.
Yeah, it'll have everything in frame, which looks good, but there's a certain aesthetic you can get with that camera where just what you want is in frame or in focus.
Yeah, exactly. And these cameras struggle a little bit in low light because of the smaller sensor. Much bigger than this, but much smaller than full frame. And their ability to focus is not very good.
Yeah, because it wanes in and out.
It's a little bit of an antiquated technology. Like this camera's been around for, I think, 4 or 5 years now.
This one's at least 7 or 8.
Yeah. But there's newer versions of these that do much better. It's just, it all comes down to cost.
Yeah.
Cost standpoint.
And eventually we'll be able to get some more stuff, but if you go for a full frame camera, you'll have to redo all your lenses. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know, 5-7 years ago, we all had old shitty GoPros and old shitty camcorders that we bought off eBay for $100. So we are definitely growing.
Yeah.
Our old camcorders, they were, this size, and we buy them off eBay for $100.
Yep.
And that's what we're filming
Handy cams
for years.
Handy cams. Canon Vixias.
Canon Vixias, which you can still buy them.
Yeah. The one I want is technically a Vixia, but it's a fancy Vixia.
One of the most popular outdoor YouTubers, which I can't remember his name now. Alaska guy. He uses the small little Vixie about this big. It's all he films
The
with.
guy with the trad bows?
Nope. Oh, what the hell is, I have his book.
Oh, Outdoor Boys?
Nope. This guy he's Alaskan hunting guide.
Oh, I don't know. But
No idea.
Anyways, he films with just like, a camcorder the size of a Red Bull can, millions of views, all his videos.
yeah, so content's still going to win, but it sure is nice to
Billy
capture that.
Moles.
The hunting beast does nothing with the everything with the GoPro, right?
No, like a
His video-
Vixia type.
Trash.
Yeah.
They're trash.
He purposely makes his videos look like shit. It's just a shtick. And he likes it. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I've grown to like Dan more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck the corporate world kind of thing.
I agree completely.
You know what I mean? Like, I like it.
Like, it wouldn't be his brand if he was using a sexy camera.
Yeah, and like having aesthetics. It
No,
just-
no.
Yeah.
He purposely wears, sleeveless T-shirts that say God knows what on.
Barack Obama is married to a man. Shit like that.
Shit like that.
Shit like that.
Dude, I saw on Whitetail 2 the other day on Ohio Whitetails 2.
What'd you see?
It was someone looking for an outfitter, and I clicked on the comments, and there was about 35 different outfitters in Ohio.
That one dude that we know commented on it and said something like, what the hell is the guy's name? We know the guy. He's from Westfield, I think. And Sitco. Commented on it was like, I think it was Sitco. He's like, holy shit, there's a lot of fucking outfitters in Ohio.
I was scrolling through, like, God damn it.
Well, we have friends that thought about starting outfitting business just because they can make money doing it. And like, no.
We've had people ask us why we don't outfit. It's a philosophy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
It's just there was a comment on there about how there's a guy guiding on public lands. I'm like, I don't know if I like that at all in Ohio, but I know that's the way it is. There's nothing you can do to stop it. But
It's not illegal. I mean,
I just don't like.
I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a huge percentage of that happening out west.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's doing it out west, right?
Like any drop camp you go into, like any drop camp that I run into, 10 miles back, I hike for 2 days, and I come up on people listening to the fucking radio in a wall tent with 20 horses. Like, that's an outfitter.
Yeah, they have a permit to just camp there.
Yeah, the way the outfitters work is they all get areas.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I could probably look it up so I could see where the outfitters are, but I don't know. We've run into several outfitters in the backcountry.
Camera arm wise, real quick before we finish this one up, we covered everything I wanted to talk about at the end and the beginning, so we're good to go. Camera arm wise, for me, I'm going to stick with the 4th arrows. I'm lightening stuff up a bit. I might get the newer base. I might try and buy the new base that you guys use. Do you like it a little bit better because it's a little bit lighter? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use the regular Stiff Arm Pro, and then I got a lighter head. I bought the same head that you guys all use, the B Free or the Benfro. Benro. It's a lot lighter than the one I'm currently using.
They seem like pretty decent heads, and you can get them for pretty cheap.
I'm putting my fancy big head on my fancy Stiff Arm Pro with the fancy base for like dedicated hunts where I only have to worry about carrying a camera and that's it. I don't worry about a bow.
Yeah, like you're going to a ladder stand.
Yeah, if I'm going to film Nick or something, I can get the fancy heavy duty stuff to really film with. So I'll have 2 setups, but the one I want to carry around with my hunting stuff is going to be smaller. And if we go mobile hunting, smaller. In West Virginia, smaller.
Figure out what pack you're going to use?
Nope. Right now, it's going to be the trophy line for Kentucky, probably, unless I borrow Luke's.
Which they're shit.
I might borrow Luke's. If he's not going to go hunting, then I'm going to use Luke's.
You won't like it.
What about yours? Is yours available, like your whitetail pack?
No, I'm probably taking it with me.
Okay.
But use Luke's old one, the one he likes. Even though he's probably going to use his old one.
The fucking duck bag?
Yeah.
He loves
it's
it.
not duck camo. Who cares duck camo? Anyways, the only reason I bring up the pack because my camera arm is just like my pack. It's not. I don't like it, but it's pretty much the best I can find. Because
Ethan's is pretty intriguing.
His pack,
yeah,
that's way too big for me.
Mr.
I don't mind the
38.
size. I don't mind.
I like the size because I'm going to carry a lot of shit in.
You're a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Back to camera arms for a second. If anybody out there is listening, I use the Lone Wolf Custom Arm, the older one, but it's the same as the one they sell now. It's too small for these camera setups.
Yeah.
It's too bobbly.
Yeah.
But it's the best there is when it comes to setting it up silently, packing it, because you can set it up. It doesn't have ratchet straps. You're not clicking ratchet straps.
It's small.
The ability for it to level is perfect. Like the system it uses with the screw, blah, 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 that works perfect. It's just too small. Like make that, but bigger and heavier duty.
So I
hate the 2-part base arm situation that you have to ratchet strap to the thing and adjust it, and then
That's how mine is.
Aaron Olson.
There's no good place to store that fucking base.
Yeah, it's huge. Like it's a huge thing with fucking claws coming out of it in your pack.
Aaron suggested to use a cam over buckle, and I tried it out, and I like it. There's no rat strap with mine anymore, and it stays tight to the tree, and you could level it.
I just need to find a better base. The fourth arrow makes. You do have the newer fourth arrow base.
Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll show you my setup after this. It's nice.
There's no perfect camera arm, and there's definitely no perfect pack.
No, we're still fighting the
They all
backpack game. I sort of like Nick's pack, but it doesn't have enough on the outside.
Nope.
He has the First Light transfer.
Because
pack.
we struggle with, we want something that we can take to our farm, which has preset stands. We just need to carry the camera arm in the base, in the camera,
and a coat.
And then we also go to Indiana where we need to carry the sticks, the platform, the everything, plus everything.
The answer is probably several bags.
And
then you're not efficient because you're using different bags at different times.
We know how we are. We're going to forget shit.
Forget our release in one bag, get all the way to Indiana, climb up the tree, not have a fucking arrow release, like shit like that.
Ethan got the Mystery Ranch, what is it?
38, Treehouse 38.
Which is huge.
They make a smaller one?
Yeah, but it doesn't have the waist strap, which I want the waist strap.
Your shoulder strap system it's huge.
Where would I hang a lone wolf on that?
You're not. Well, no, it doesn't have a
separate thing.
To hang an actual stand to a pack,
you'd have to get the First Light transfer,
you need a Western style
or
pack.
the Praxis, or
because when I do my mobile hunting and I take my stand with me,
you have to strap your pack to the stand.
Yes,
not your stand.
so the waist straps aren't as important anymore.
You'd have to buy a dedicated pack, because like the First Light transfer pack, you can take and separate it and then marry it back together on the stand.
And
the Praxis pack's the same way. I think you can do it with the Ranger series as well. I think you can marry and unmarry things to it.
Yeah, like a frame, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just not a perfect. I designed one. I drew it on a piece of paper.
Someone used to make, was it XOP, like an L-shaped metal frame that just had webbing and ratchets and like straps, so that you could just connect all your shit onto that and you just carry that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about.
Well, that's kind of how the new Latitude pack is. It's not a pack. Like it's a pack that has packs that attach to it. Basically.
Yeah. Well, if I just got I bet you if I just found a really good frame pack, it doesn't even have to probably be an expensive one. Just a frame pack with a bottom shelf, I could get all my stuff on it tight, and it would be just fine.
But then you'd be taking it apart.
But then are you gonna?
No, because you just take your bag off of it, connect it to your bow strap.
But are you gonna want to be carrying that every day when you're hunting?
Well, just until I find the tree I like.
Because we struggled with finding the perfect pack, because all the guys that carry their stuff that film for big YouTube outfitters, they're not carrying the camera stuff with them as well.
Correct.
We're carrying it all. Those guys are just carrying their sticks, platform,
because we have all of this on this table.
And then you have the cameraman with them carrying that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I usually end up, like the way I've done it the last 3 times we've gone to Indiana and hunted public land, is I have put the stand on my back with the XOP harness using like heavy duty zip ties. Mm-hmm. The only problem with that is that it gets sweaty, and then you're hanging your sweaty stand in the tree.
Yeah, so you're carrying that stand against your back in a t-shirt. You're all sweating into that stand,
and then you hang the stand. It's just like
all your sweaty shit's just hanging there. Then
doesn't look enjoyable.
And then I strap and then I take a carabiner and some cinch ties and whatever. What the fuck do they call them?
Bungee
straps. Yeah. To put my backpack onto said stand, and then my right hand is my bow, and in my left hand with my climbing sticks. Because I was using it first a couple years, the XOP 3 steps. Fuck, with those heavy.
Well, and people would say that you need to switch to a lighter setup. You need to switch to a saddle.
And so if I do
with my Sitka backpack, I can put the sticks, the saddle platform, everything works perfect. That's what I did in West Virginia last year, and it does work well.
Significantly better.
The Novix mini steps that I have are better for what I like. They're definitely an upgrade on using the XOPs for that kind of thing. But if I would end up getting like the Latitude sticks like Ethan just got with the lighter Lone Wolf that I have in my backpack, it really wouldn't be that bad. The only thing heavy would be the Lone Wolf.
Mm-hmm. I think you need to try a saddle.
No.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but you say you hate them.
I hate sitting.
Looking at Isaac.
I hate sitting in them for a long period of time. Yeah.
Because like if I go to Indiana and find that beautiful tree and throw my Lone Wolf, I could be there for a week and just love it.
If you're doing that, but if you're bopping around, at the end of the week, you're just going to be like, oh, I'll just go hunt where I have my stand hung already because
That's fact. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
which we've been there.
Yeah,
Done it
and that's
many
why
times.
that's why I've been tinkering with my system is to refine that, so I don't do that when I go to Indiana Public.
But if I could find a better way to get my loan, like I could still, as long as like I'm gonna have to look into a frame pack idea because I think if a good frame pack with some bungee cords would really.
You need the First Light transfer pack. Is what you
Yeah, Spanny has it. Ask him to check it out.
Will fit a loan
Spanny has
in between the frame and the
That's what
pack.
it's made for.
Yeah, Spanny has it's called the transfer pack. Spanny has the full size transfer, and Nick has the mini.
Yeah, transfer light. You need that. That's what you
Ask
need.
Spanny to check it
But
out. It's big.
but you're not gonna have the rigidness that you want with it.
So Nick's is rigid.
Yeah, the transfer pack's pretty rigid.
Well, no, Nick's old pack is rigid.
Yeah, you're talking about the yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That one's
that's
nice.
not a mobile setup. That's
No.
a carry into your Radix setup.
Once again, they don't have a one size fits all worth of shit.
Filming, self-filmers, like they just, I know there's a million of them out there on the internet, but none of them actually do it.
Yeah, and I know we're like this podcast is kind of grouped to like a niche group of people because a lot of you guys that are listening probably don't give a fuck about our filming gear and our backpack setups, but it does make a difference in the heat of the moment. And on that note, thank you guys for listening. Next week, I believe we're going to get Al on from Vitalized Seed to do a fall food plot podcast. It's time. And
Yeah, 'cause
then
I need to get
after
mine.
that, I believe we're going to pretty much rock out roundtables of guys just telling hunting stories and talking about deer they've killed and what their plan for the season is.
And then before we know it, we'll be live from Kentucky. Y'all will be live from Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yep, and you'll be in Montana.
19 days. It's going to be fucking sweet.
Can't wait. Anything else?
Nope.
That's
I gotta get to work on the farm. Got to film some family dream farm shit.
Deer Shot Podcast, episode 151. We're out.
151.
Thanks for listening.